Hi everyone and welcome back. Today something I've been asked quite a lot about, my ramp. I think it's every vert skater's dream to sort of have their own backyard ramp someday. It's taken me until I was 48 to get mine. I toyed with the idea several times, but it took until COVID hit until it gave me the final push to get things rolling. I took a bad slam on, not a bad slam, just a heavy slam on some flat ground, some rough bitumen, and just knew that wasn't for me. I missed skating vert and it had only been 3 weeks. So I got home that night after feeling quite ashamed of myself for falling over, hurting myself on a little piece of bitumen, and put the plans together and priced it out and just basically committed that night, and that was the start of my ramp. There was only one place the ramp could really go, so I measured it out and I literally started the next day. I quickly worked out that the ramp would be 20 foot wide, 6 meters, and I was sort of hoping for a 10 foot tranny, which ended up being 9'9", just due to that was the max I could get out of one sheet of 8x4, so one transition per sheet. But then with 6 inches of vert and a 2.5 inch coping, I did end up with the ramp being just under 10.5 foot. Now that's plenty big enough for me and my backyard. The overall aim of the ramp was to learn more lip tricks and then sort of take them to the bigger ramps and bowls around the area, which for the most part has been mission accomplished. I somehow worked out that I wanted about 13 foot 4 meters of flat bottom, knowing that I would want to put a skate-like type surface on the ramp as soon as possible. I started out by digging and laying concrete pads as the base, which gave me my level, and also added some stirrups to the base for more support later. I started on the transition template and then carried on to cut out the rest of the transitions. Then, time for the base to go down. And when the light disappeared, I went inside to work on the transitions. After that, it was just a matter of starting to put all of the transitions together. There is one thing that I would change if I rebuilt the ramp, and that would be not to turn the timbers to pick up the edges of the surface, but to run 2 timbers side by side. The reason for this is the timbers were slightly bowed by the sheets. I packed them out and it was fine, but it would have been nice not to. Now the ground was extremely wet. We'd had lots of rain and that continued on through the build, so I decided to lay the flat a bit early so I could actually work off it as a bit of a platform, and that worked out fantastic. Now the fun part, put in the top trannies. Now I say the fun part because I actually did most of this build on my own. It was a little bit tricky to get these up, but I just worked out a system and it just took a little bit of extra time, but I got there in the end. It was no problem. And then time for the surface. Again, I started this on my own, but some good friends, Brendan and Benny, came over and gave us a little chop out with the second half of the surface, and by the end of the second day we were pretty much 3/4 of the way through the top surface. I bitumen painted all of the undersurfaces and the exposed timbers. The surface to this point was 2 1/2-inch 12mm hardwood ply sheets, which was a bugger to bend, especially doing the first part on my own, but definitely worth having. It's definitely held up. It's been just over 2 years now, and there doesn't seem to be any soft points at the moment. The top coat that you can see there is an oil-based stain, the green coat, which I put 2 coats on that, and that soaked in really well. I was kind of thinking that it may get a bit slick, so I was a little bit careful with it, but I had no problems with that whatsoever. And then we got the handrail up and the platform on, coping on, side one done. So I really hope you enjoyed that video. If you did, hit the thumbs up button. Don't forget to subscribe for future videos and the next part of this video. And please leave any comments below. My name is John Pearson and thanks for watching.
It's rock hard. It's a real car.